Huawei is very dangerous.
Rarely does a country go to war with a private company.
We have met the enemy, and it is Huawei.
We're not going to do business with Huawei.
Huawei represents a national security risk.
But is this really about Huawei? Or is it something bigger than that?
Huawei just received a certification that could fundamentally alter the global computing landscape. The MateBook Pro, model HAD W32, has completed its OpenHarmony 6.0 release compatibility test. This isn't just another software update. This is the moment when Huawei signals to the world that Microsoft Windows is no longer necessary for its hardware ecosystem. But here's where it gets interesting. The version certified hasn't even been released to the public yet. The official Huawei forum confirms that the most recent version available for this laptop is 6.00.0.120, which brings home screen, file manager, system, and other important improvements. What does Huawei know that we don't? What's coming in version 6.0.0.130 that required certification before public release? Let's understand what changed in version 6.02.2.120. The home screen received optimizations for app icons' appearance in the App Center, along with optimizations for the display effect of the folder shortcut. Huawei also delivered optimizations for user experience, for cutting, pasting, and deleting actions. The company fixed an issue of abnormal display of App Center icons when the monitor was used as an extended screen. These aren't minor tweaks. These are fundamental improvements to how users interact with their operating system daily. The file manager got its share of attention too. Huawei optimized the user experience on the main interface after switching to my cloud drive from the sidebar, and fixed the issue of connection failure and no error message pop-up during file copying to the USB drive. Every single one of these changes points to one undeniable reality. Huawei is building a production-ready operating system that can genuinely replace Windows for millions of Chinese users. But the OpenHarmony certification reveals something even more significant. Getting OpenHarmony support means that the MateBook Pro can be installed with other software builds other than Huawei's own. Think about what that means for a moment. Huawei isn't building a closed ecosystem like Apple. They're creating an open platform where the entire Chinese IT industry can participate, innovate, and contribute. Now, let's talk about the certification that changes everything. China's Information and Security Evaluation Center published a new set of security and reliability evaluation certifications for 2026, and that list includes HarmonyOS v1.0 PC operating system. The OS managed to get the highest security and reliability level 2 and is the first operating system to break through level I. No other PC OS or server-side system has obtained level 2 certification. Read that again. No other system. Not Windows. Not Mac OS. Not Linux. Only HarmonyOS. What does level 2 actually mean for Huawei and for China? The certificate shows that HarmonyOS v1.0 PC OS has strong security features and better long-term reliability. The product meets stricter criteria for safety, controllability, and stable supply, reducing risks of external reliance and weakness. In a world where technology has become a geopolitical weapon, these words carry enormous weight. These results are important for the Huawei operating system to secure a place in use for government, critical sectors, and state-owned enterprises customers. These sectors usually choose procurement for systems. Translation: HarmonyOS PC just unlocked access to the most lucrative and strategically important computing market in China. Government offices, banks, power grids, telecommunications infrastructure, all of these critical systems can now legally and confidently deploy HarmonyOS instead of foreign alternatives. The journey to this moment started years ago. Unveiled in May 2025, the MateBook Pro comes as the first-ever HarmonyOS PC operating system. This launch marks a major shift in Huawei's device software ecosystem, just like smartphones. The company is no longer launching laptops with Microsoft's Windows operating system. That's not a gradual transition. That's a complete break from the past. The journey to a dedicated PC operating system started with the arrival of HarmonyOS 5 when Huawei transitioned from third-party library use to a native app framework. This is when it received the full support of the Chinese IT industry, which closely collaborated with Huawei and launched native HarmonyOS apps that support cross-platforms. The entire Chinese technology sector bet on HarmonyOS succeeding, and they backed that bet with real development resources. Over the past 2 years, Huawei has rapidly scaled key developer services that facilitated app makers to adopt large screen devices without writing extra lines of code. This has allowed the mobile apps to easily adopt large screens, such as the MateBook app, with a little bit of optimization and testing. This is genius strategy disguised as technical convenience. Huawei removed the biggest barrier to ecosystem adoption: developer effort. Think about what Apple and Microsoft require from developers. Apple demands separate versions for iOS and macOS. Microsoft requires extensive testing across countless hardware configurations. Huawei said, bring your mobile app, do minimal optimization, and it works on laptops. Overnight, HarmonyOS PC gained access to thousands of applications that were already popular on HarmonyOS smartphones and tablets. HarmonyOS is Huawei's self-developed operating system, first introduced for smartphones and tablet devices. In the past 5 years, the software has made a major leap in platform compatibility development. That includes the adaptation of smartwatches, smart wearables, third-party devices, and smart home appliances. Huawei built what Apple took decades to achieve, but they did it in 5 years under the pressure of international sanctions. The company was keen on using Microsoft's Windows for its notebooks until last year, when it switched from foreign software to HarmonyOS PCOS, which debuted with the MateBook Pro series. Why the sudden change? U.S. sanctions made reliance on Microsoft a strategic vulnerability. China's government pushed for technological independence. Huawei needed an ecosystem that unified all their devices. Every single motivation pointed in the same direction: build your own platform or remain dependent forever. The Chinese tech maker is regularly improving the software for large-screen devices such as desktop computers to make them compatible for use cases other than its homegrown devices. This new national security certificate could boost the HarmonyOS PC adoption in government and other sectors. Could boost? That's conservative language for something that's virtually guaranteed to happen. What happens when the Chinese government declares that HarmonyOS PC meets the highest security standards while also mandating that critical infrastructure reduce dependence on foreign technology? Mass adoption becomes inevitable. Government agencies will switch. State-owned enterprises will follow. Private companies seeking government contracts will align their technology choices accordingly, but challenges remain substantial. HarmonyOS PC still needs to catch up to Windows' decades of professional software support. Will Adobe create versions for HarmonyOS? Will Autodesk port their engineering tools? Will gaming companies invest in DirectX alternatives? These aren't minor questions. These determine whether HarmonyOS PC remains confined to government offices or becomes a true consumer platform. Microsoft isn't standing still either. They've lost Huawei as a laptop partner, they're losing ground in Chinese government and enterprise sectors, and Windows' market share in China faces serious risk. How will Redmond respond? Can they afford to lose the world's largest market? What concessions might they make to retain relevance in China? The platform fragmentation is already visible. China moves toward HarmonyOS. The West remains committed to Windows and macOS. The computing world is splitting into technological spheres of influence, mirroring the smartphone divide between different Android implementations and iOS across different markets. Looking ahead to 2026 and 2027, expect more Huawei laptop models running HarmonyOS PC, government and enterprise rollouts accelerating, OpenHarmony ecosystem partners emerging, and the app ecosystem hitting critical mass for core productivity applications. By 2028 to 2030, Other Chinese PC manufacturers may adopt HarmonyOS, major Chinese software companies will release native versions, and the market split will solidify. China runs HarmonyOS, while the West continues with Windows and Mac. This isn't just Huawei making another laptop OS. This is China building parallel tech infrastructure that operates independently from Western technology standards. Whether HarmonyOS PC succeeds globally or remains China-focused, it's already succeeding domestically, and that success represents a fundamental shift in how the world's second-largest economy computes. Do you think HarmonyOS PCs could eventually challenge Windows globally, or will this remain a China-only phenomenon? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more tech industry analysis that goes beyond the headlines.